Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on Sandy Bay. So yesterday we were actually mucking out the pigs and the beef cows, and we didn't quite finish the job because we didn't really have enough space in the trailer, and also the tractor which we were using with the grab was just a bit too small. So we're now returning back to Willow Farm to complete the job today, and we're going to use the JCB. I think the JCB wheel loader is a fantastic tool for this because it's obviously got a very large bucket and we should be able to load it up really quickly. I think in total there is about 12,000 litres of manure which needs to be cleared out, so not half as much as there was, but still enough to make us actually do the job. We need to make it nice and clean for them, and then they might need some straw. I always forget if they actually need straw or not, but I think they do. So we've got a few jobs that need to be done. Might not do the straw today because I am actually looking to do another harvest before we finish single player because I want to use the Claas Axion again. So we might find a small field, buy it, and then do a really quick harvest. But first of all, yeah, let's just get these pigs and cows mucked out. And here we are at Willow Farm. The cows, I think, have got less manure in here than the pigs do. Look at that, 6,400 litres in each bucket load. Before I think we were getting about 700 litres. So that is a vast improvement. In fact, this is going to take no time at all. I should have just used it in the first place. Such a big capacity. We'll stop that just there. We'll get it loaded in. Yeah, I was doing it all wrong before. But I suppose it makes it more fun if it takes a while to do. Because it's not just over and done with. And that is the cows done. Now for the pigs. They have slightly more. But if we blast through this first of all, then we'll be able to do a nice harvest just after this. It's going to be a really small field because I like the small fields. For some reason I just find them a lot more enjoyable. Well, it doesn't seem to be taking any more. I can still see some, but it's not really registering it. We'll have a look and see if we have actually completed the job. If we go to the end of here. Yeah, they're both done, so it must just be there to show you that you can actually muck them out. I always hit the trailer though with this. I'm not a very good loader driver. But that is that job done. What we'll do is we'll just put this over here, because we will likely need it again. So for now we'll just park it here. And we'll head back to Sandy Bay Farm with both tractors because we don't really need them here. We'll take them both back and then we'll get the attraction trailer set up. We'll probably wash this Marshall trailer out actually, and we'll use this. And then we'll be able to get going with the Claas Axion, and we'll try and find a good field to do. Put that on to follow me, and let's go back. We've got 14,740 litres of manure here, and that will actually make our main heap back at the main yard quite full. In fact, we can shut these gates now as well because we are finished in that yard. And yeah, that Claas tractor's here as well. We might need to take this back. I probably should do. So we'll just add it to the follow me trail. We'll just all follow each other. Should probably put the steering column down. And we'll head back to the yard. Okay, off we go. So we are now on episode 48 out of what I think is going to be 50 in single player. So, is there anything you really want me to do before the end? Obviously we're going to have to squeeze this into 2 episodes because that is all we have. Unless of course I get so much demand that I have to extend it to 60 episodes in single player, but just depends. I really do want to crack on though, but it's not because I hate the map, I love this map, but because there are so many other maps, including the new one from Oxygendavid. I really want to be able to make space for all the new maps. So that is why I'm kind of putting a finishing mark at 50 episodes. But I say finishing, but we're not really, because we're still going to continue in multiplayer. So yeah, just before we finish single player, I'm basically saying. How are they doing? Yeah, they're still coming good. They did actually get stuck at the traffic lights, but they're on the way now. And here we are back at Sandy Bay Farm. I'll just stop these 2 tractors here because we need to put one of them away. Actually, no, we need to put them both away, I think. So we'll just leave them there. Before we start the harvest, we'll just drop this off. Well, these cows, they all walk towards you. Yeah, that is a full looking heap. Just get it tipped in there. Yeah, that is looking pretty full. We can definitely do some muck spreading soon. Looking forward to do some more muck spreading actually. Haven't really done that much recently. It's something I tend to do in multiplayer, so that is probably going to be a good thing to start off with. But let's just shut those gates before I forget, and then we will put the tractors away except for one. Where's the trigger for 2? There we go. Shut both of those. And then we're going to get the combine harvester going for probably the last time in this single player series. But chances are, because it is such a good harvester, I'll use it again in the future on a different map. Right, we'll put the trailer there. And we will put this one away because this one's quite small. And I think we'll probably tow that trailer with the 6616 Massey Ferguson. It's a nice mid-range tractor to use. So the front loader will take off, and I think we'll probably leave the manure fork on there, the manure grab, because the chances are we will be using that again. Yeah, thing is about this tractor, the front link arms always default to folded down, I think. So I always forget to fold them up again. So I'll get those folded up before we start the harvest. And finally, the Claas Axion. We really don't need to use this tractor for carting with, because it's quite big. We've actually run out of space because I've put the trailers in there. But that's okay because I can put it in here. So just put this one in here. Then we'll get the harvester going. We'll buy a field. And that should be our episode for today. Wow, it's a tight squeeze in here. Okay, oh, got a coin. 20 out of 100 accidentally picked up. we're going to have to go and pick up the header, which is actually quite a long way from here in the other field. I decided not to keep it in the yard because it tends to get in the way. I've just spun it round and the header was kind of falling off, so probably best if we put it on here safely before we start. I think that is square with the trailer. It does fall off quite easily though. We should probably get one with a locking script. There we go. Actually, it does have a locking script. I just never used it. I really should have done. Okay, so let's go around the front of the yard again, and we'll get the front link arms folded up on the Massey Ferguson. Then we'll head over to field 33, I think it's going to be. That is very local to here, and it's also not going to be too expensive, and it's a fairly decent size. Let's just make sure it's actually got something growing in it, because that would really help if we knew that it has something in it. Yes, it has wheat in it. Brilliant. So, let's do a wheat harvest. So to fold these up, you have to press X. You have to go into the front and do that. That is that done. Right, so Axion's going first. I think we'll take both individually because otherwise it means using follow me, and I don't really like using follow me too much, especially when the field is so local. So Axion first, then the Massey Ferguson. Well, there's the field. It really doesn't take long to get here. In fact, we could have gone through the cow field, but that probably seemed a bit unprofessional. So we're going to go left here. And we'll let ourselves into this field. Actually, I don't know how expensive this field is going to be, because although it's quite small, the fields on this map are quite expensive. So I'm going to put a guess down at about 50,000, which probably seems ridiculously expensive, and I'm probably way out, but it's just a guess. Okay, 29,000. Yeah, I was way out, but only by 21,000, so that was pretty horrific. Wondering which way the header is. So yeah, it's that way, so we should probably go into the field this way. Hate crushing the crops, but sometimes it has to be done. Right, okay. Oh, this is where I always mess up. Yes, got to get the order right. So we'll get the header on, we'll begin harvesting. We might even get it all into one load because it's not really a very big field and it might not have been fertilised. So this much will go into the combine, and then at the end we can bring the traction trailer to the field and empty. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, not yet. Got to wait for it to go. There we go. Right, let's start harvesting. We are going to put this on swath mode because we might need it in the future, this straw. So I'll put it on swath. We can just cultivate it in if we don't need it, I suppose. But this harvester is just fantastic. Always enjoy using it. We should probably have it on that camera. And we need to keep an eye on our load because if you go too fast, it can actually block. And that has happened before. In field 20 when I was using this harvester, it blocked. And it actually took me a while to work out how to unblock it, but in the end, I just jumped out the combine and it flashed up with this thing saying unblock, so I did it. But yeah, I like the idea it can block. But I think we're going to be okay in this field because it hasn't been fertilised. It's quite a sparse crop. That's 25%. Yeah, we might fit it in, but it would be close. Right, this is the first headland almost completed. You know, I don't think we even need to do a second headland because it's such a small field and there's already quite a big grass border around it. We don't really need any more turning space, so I'm just going to go up and down the field from now on. Yeah, going from this end to the other end is the easiest thing to do. Pretty much 50%. We are going to have to bring the traction trailer down very soon because it's not all going to fit in. I was hoping it would do, but then I suppose that's a bad thing because we get less yield. So yes, fill up quicker. I try and keep these swaths as straight as possible. I'll just swap the camera over there. Yep, I think it's the actuator load. It's sticking around 40 to 50%, so it's really quite easy to do this. That is, although easy for us because we don't have to keep on blocking it, but it's also bad because it means we haven't fertilised the field. So there's not really much going through it. So yeah. I always like to fertilise fields first of all. Having said that, field number 20 is fertilised. I don't know if I mentioned that yesterday or not, but it is done. So whenever we do this silage harvest in multiplayer, there will be a huge yield out of that field. It will be brilliant. We might even overflow the silage pits. Alright, 78%. We are going to have to unload, probably going down this way, because that will be the easiest thing to do. Just swap that camera back. Well, they're straightish. They're not amazing, obviously, but they're okay. We're now at the stage where we need to take the Massey Ferguson tractor to the field because the harvester is 86% full. Didn't think I would bother filling it completely because we don't really need to. It actually isn't too far off completion. If we had a slightly bigger harvester, it probably would have fit it all into one load. But yeah, this is fine. Let's just go and get it unloaded. And I think we'll take it straight back to the farm. No point selling it yet because the price isn't right. That's weird. It's still coming out the back of the harvester. Temporary glitch, I think. Not seen it do that before. Right, pretty much empty. Let's complete the field. So how many fields do we actually own now? I'm not going to count them all, but yeah, on the whole, we haven't really bought that many. I have been pretty slow when it comes to buying fields, but when it's in multiplayer, I'm sure we'll own them all very soon. I can just imagine this map being one of those maps where we go from 1 minute being at about 200,000, and then next time I join the server it'll be on something like 4 million. I can just imagine that. It's just one of those maps where you can really get cracking and earn a lot of money. That is a really good view of the bay from up here. I said that field 20 was a good view, but this is way higher. Yeah, field 33 is probably one of the best fields to see everything from. You see the whole map from here. Okay, just a tiny bit left now and then we are finished. Yeah, the swaths are okay, they're a bit wiggly here and there, but yeah, I've seen worse, and I've done worse myself in fact. And here we go, the final swath, and then we are completed. So yes, in the end we got a lot more than I thought we would do out of this. We're actually on 50% again, so we didn't quite fill it before, but it's going to in the end be about just less than a tank and a half. It's pretty good. So we'll switch it all off and we'll bring the tractor over to the harvester. And here we are with the tractor, ready to unload. So I think what we'll do is we'll just fold the harvester up and of course put the auger in, and then I'm just going to put the header on the trailer and we'll leave everything else here. And then we'll take the tractor and trailer back to the yard, tip that, and we'll call it a day. So yes, please do let me know what you want me to do tomorrow. It might be quite hard to think of something because we've actually done nearly everything. We're at that stage now where there isn't an awful lot to do. It's probably going to be livestock work again actually. But that is that disconnected. We'll just put the harvester here, switch off the engine, and go over to the tractor. I think the wheat shed is this first one, so we'll tip it into there. Yep, wheat and barley. The wheat is on our right, and it's totally empty. We have nothing in there at all. Right, here goes. It's a bit tight in here. There we go. So, that is actually it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. We will return tomorrow and we'll do a few bits and bobs if no one has any ideas for me. But yeah, I'm sure we'll find something to do. And then next week we'll actually be back for one more episode before we transfer to Knaveswell, unless I change my mind and do 60 episodes in single player, but we'll have to see. But yeah, until then, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.